Hey YouTube, this is Rob Lamb. Welcome to my channel where I talk about how to boost your income through real estate investing and other side income. In this particular video, it goes back to 2004, 2005, when I first got my very first property, just learning how to do real estate investing, how I rehabbed it, turned it into a rental, and now I continue to make money from it through owner financing. So I'm going to walk you through all the details, and I made a lot of money through this one individual property. So stay tuned to the very end. All right, so here I wanted to show you the pictures of what my first property looked like when I first bought the house. If we look at some of the pictures, it was a house that was owned by a widow, and she was just hoarding things inside. I had my handyman that I hired to clean all the stuff outside, and inside it was piled from floor to ceiling with stuff. This is the shed in the back, just full of junk, just still stuff left over. It was a nice workable shed though that came with it. As you can see, it needed a deep need of paint and pressure washing. Old rug. This is after it's been cleaned out inside, and it was just as you can tell, very lived in. Kitchen was nasty looking, probably the original cabinets, and just pretty much neglected. That's the heating system that they had. All that was removed because we had to put in new central heat and air. Bathroom definitely need to be refreshed. Just pretty gaudy overall. Window units here. This is the garage inside. Pretty nice sized 2-car garage. And this just gives you an idea of just what kind of rehab we needed to do. This is when we started tearing out the counters. It had nice hardwood floors underneath that ugly carpet. And my handyman just pretty much made this his project. A lot of cleanup. And we replaced the flooring in the kitchen there with new plywood. Actually kept the cabinets there because they were nice, antique looking. Now let me just show you some after pictures after we rehabbed the house. So you can see here, painted outside and in with gray and brown and red trim. The carport was completely painted all around. And yep, garage kind of tightened up. We put in new commercial grade vinyl for the flooring in the patio and the kitchen area. Replaced the carpet with the renter's grade. Those are the new countertops, and we just painted over the cabinets up at top because they were still nice, nicely put together still. We kept the original kind of wood trim that's all around. New blinds everywhere. It was a nice house that was served as a good rental property. Bathroom, we kind of refreshed it. Didn't have to turn it upside down and replace everything because it was still in good shape. Put in a new toilet in there. So got it ready to rent. There's the air handler for the new AC unit. Yep, that was in April of 2005. And put in new appliances, or new used appliances. We had the mindset of this being a rental property from the beginning. So around April 2005, I got it ready to rent. Took several months to get it rehabbed. All right, so what I just showed you are the pictures of the before and after of the property. The rehab cost about $15,000, just so you know. The person who actually did the work was a handyman that was referred to me at a real estate club meeting. So I highly recommend that you join one of those to start building some connections. All right, so next part of this video, I wanted to show you how I structured an owner financing type of deal where I sold the property and now I continue to make money from it as a owner. Well, I'm an owner of the note. The deed has been sold to these investors, but I structured it so that I can get a down payment, and now they're continuing to pay me every single month on a monthly basis. So that's really great. All right, let me show you those details. All right, so this is my file of my tenants. I've had many tenants over the years, and you'll see here that I've got this particular tenant. I wanted to show you a particular lease agreement. Even as of 2016, just one of my tenants, I had them sign this lease agreement, which was a pretty rock solid lease agreement. I had it rented out for $727, and in this particular lease agreement, I'm not going to go through all the details, but it was a month-to-month lease. I had them set for 1 year, but this was one of the extensions, and over time this turned into a month-to-month, and they pretty much took care of a lot of things. He was a kind of a handyman, and in this particular lease I just have many pages that protects me in every way. And they signed this. It was a like I show here, it was a original lease was from 2014 to 2015, so I renewed it here, and basically I just have a pet agreement, wood floor addendum, just everything in here, pet addendum, things like that. So a full stack of information. Anyway, so that's an example of a particular lease where it was rented out for $727. It started out at around $600, and then it kind of went up as high as $850. All right, so in this part of the video, I wanted to talk about the way that I sold this property, so you can kind of take a look at it. What you'll see here is that I sold it as the owner of the property at the Facilio Law. The contract price when I sold it was at $55,000, and the way I sold it is through owner financing, which means that I am the lender. So that's my company. That happens to be my company. It doesn't have to. You don't have to create a company to do this. It's just that you can be the one that's selling it, and in this case, I wanted to have my company be receiving the payments. And the way this works is at a sale price of $55,000 right here, I had a note for $45,000. I asked them for $10,000 down, and I'll be holding a mortgage. They're going to be holding a mortgage of $45,000 to be paid to me. So I'll show you the note in a second. It shows here what his closing costs were, that for paying off the title company and some of the taxes for the transaction. And I got $10,248 at closing, and they created a note for $45,000. And here's what that $45,000 promissory note looks like. So there's a balloon that's gonna be executed in 2023. They are paying me, Lamb Capital Investments here, $394.91 payable on the 1st of every month, as you can see here. So the way that broke down is that it's an interest rate of 10% interest. All right, so they put $10,000 down and a 10% interest. So when I sold this property, I'm still continually to make money from it. In fact, I'm collecting 10% interest from it. So I felt like that was a strong setup, and this is better than rent because these are people that bought the house from me. I'm no longer involved with the tenants and the repairs. That's all on the buyer. They're paying the property taxes, insurance, and everything. And all I'm worrying about now is to collect my monthly payments, which I haven't ever not gotten that payment. It's been very smooth with my attorney, Facilo Law. I'm also very protected with them paying because they are also personally guaranteeing on the loan, which is very strong. So you'll see here that there's a check for $394 that I've been collecting every single month. So until they sell the property and I'm going to be cashed out, or I can wait till the maturity date of this note, which is July 1st, 2023, in which case I'm going to be collecting the balloon payment anyway. So I felt like this was a very strong way of selling the property, and I got higher than what the market was, what the property was going for at the time. So, all right, I hope you found this beneficial. Okay, now that you have seen how the house was rehabbed, how I bought it back in 2005, 2004, and then 2005 is probably when I got it rented out. And I had it until I sold the property 2019. So from the 2019 to the 2005 time frame gives us 14 years that the house was rented out. Okay? Now, back in 2005, rents were, probably in the 600s, upper 600s. I know that I had HUD used for a few years. So from 600, rents ranged from 600 to, by the time I sold the house, it was up to $850 per month, right? So let's just assume average was 700 a month. Okay, that might be a kind of a fair little average. And now I had it for 14 years. So if it was 14 years times 12 months, okay, what's the math calculating to be? Let's take a look here. So 14 times 12, that's 168. Equals 168 months, right? Times 700 a month would give us, times 700 would give us 117,600. Okay, now if I multiply like 40%, let's just say 40% goes to expenses like vacancies, property taxes, insurance, things like that. So if I do 60% of the 176,000, which is points times 0.6, gives us 70,560 divided by 14 years. That made about 5,000 per year. Okay, so around 5,000 net per year from this one little property. Okay, and as I showed you here, 5,000 times 14 years, that was almost $70,000 that this one little house made, or 70,000 K in 14 years. Now, keep in mind that starting 2019, I started making I started receiving monthly payments of $394. 2019, I started making interest income of $394. So that, if you take that times 12 months per year, that is generally around $5,000 a year as well. So 394 times 12 months is around $4,728 in interest only payments. So look at that, guys. I made $70,000 the time that I had this house, a house that I bought for around $30,000 and put $15,000 into it. And yes, I've done some rehabs here and there over the years, but I still made $70,000 net over all that time. And still now I'm making almost $5,000 a year on interest-only payments until the house pays me off in full, in which case I'll get the full remaining balance of the loan. So that's the power of real estate, guys, on just one little property. All right, so that was my complete deal from 2004 now to 2021. So that's the power of real estate. You can continue to make money from it from all different ways, from renting it out and now through owner financing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe to my videos for more to come. Thank you.